Hey everybody, welcome to Nutrition Simplified. It's really great to have you. Let's talk about our ground beef, okay? Our meat. Whether you're buying a New York steak, you're buying ground beef, whatever slab of meat you're buying that's beef, let's talk about that because this is a term I've never noticed ever until today. So, what I started learning about, it's a really good resource. I'll go ahead and write down where I read it, but it was super interesting about ground beef being grass-fed, organic, and what's grain finished, what's grass finished. So first off, let's just talk about what I have in here, right here in front of me now. Organic ground beef, 100% grass-fed, grass finished, okay? So what the term organic means, it means that they're being raised in conditions that meet organic standards. There's no pesticides being used, no hormones, no antibiotics being used. That's what that means. Now, when we look at grass-fed, that term there means that they're grazing on the pasture. They're not being fed any grains in between. They're not being fed corn in between. Same with the term grass finished. Okay, this is so ridiculous how these marketing people get people. We'll get into that right now, okay? So grass finished means that pretty much this cow here ate grass only. That's what that means, okay? To keep things just straightforward. Now, if you're buying meat that says grass fed, just grass fed beef, okay? What that means there is that that cow might have been grain finished, not grass finished, okay? That's how marketers are getting people now. We think we're buying a good quality meat because it says grass-fed beef, but if it doesn't say anything on there grass finished, and it just says 100% grass-fed, it doesn't mention grass finished at all, more than likely that cow may have been fed with a supplemental grain, such as corn, or a non-GMO feed, because remember, it's not organic. So if you're not buying organic ground beef and you're just getting ground beef that says grass-fed ground beef or 100% grass-fed, more than likely that cow is being grain finished, where they're eating GMO grains and GMO corn. I didn't know that. And isn't it amazing how they take advantage of people with that term grass fed so they can get into your pocket, get you to pay for something that's not even the best quality? It's really, really deceitful. So I really encourage you, if you're going to buy anything that says grass fed, please make sure you start paying attention to the labeling because this is the first time I've noticed this. It's 100% grass fed and grass finished, okay? Really, really important because if you're eating meat that is grass fed, it says, for example, but it's not organic, your body is still consuming the GMOs and that supplemental feed that they're giving them after. And then if you're eating beef, for example, that is not organic, not grass fed, it's just mainstream meat that they're putting out on the market, okay? That meat right there, especially like if you have a Save Mart, for example, often you'll see deals where it's like buy 5 packs of meat for $5 and it looks like a great deal. It's really, really not. Because what you're getting essentially is you're getting meat that has been packed with antibiotics, packed with GMOs because of the feed that they're getting. And also, they're not meeting any type of organic conditions where they're grazing in places that fall under organic, where there's no pesticides being used, nor hormones, no antibiotics. They have space to roam, to be free, very much so like chickens in the talk we had about pasture raised eggs and chicken. They're in feedlots crammed together where they're breeding diseases from one another, where antibiotics have to be used. And they're being fed and pumped up with a supplemental feed, which is grain, only 100% grain, GMOs to fatten them up quickly, and also to put more fat on your meat. I really wish I was at the store right now because I had bought a chuck roast that was not grass-fed, not organic, just regular mainstream meat that's put out in the market. And I noticed that it was way more tender in my opinion, but looking back, now I realize it's because there was so much fat. And I didn't even realize it, that after I'd cooked it, I was so disappointed because it looked like a giant slab of meat in the container. When I cooked it in my Instant Pot, there was hardly any meat on that bone. A lot of it was fat, and I didn't have the eye to see it at the time. So really, you're paying a pretty shiny penny, you guys. Let's be real. For meat that's not even good for you, one, and for meat that isn't even in a good quantity because it's surrounded by so much fat. I'll try to put a picture at the very end so you can see what I'm talking about. But back to the point, please get 100% grass-fed, grass-finished meat. I know that buying organic can be really intimidating, but when it comes to your health, I encourage you, please, please take that seriously because you don't want to be eating meat that's of poor quality and giving that to your kids. Better to just alter your lifestyle. I made a video about that, about getting started. Where can you start budgeting for these things? Hopefully, those tips can help you so you can start buying these things. And if these are things that are still expensive for you, then I encourage you, consider making this a treat and being very prudent, if you will, where you can with what you're eating. Okay. I really hope this helps. The whole term grass fed, grass finished. At the end of the day, that's what you want to look for. And you really want to look for organic. If you can't get organic, you can only get 100% grass fed, grass finished. That's the next second best option. Just know that you might be eating a cow that was around pesticides and things of that nature. But if you're okay with that, that's the next best thing. So either organic grass fed, grass finished, or 100% grass fed, grass finished, non organic. God bless. Bye. Alrighty, so for a quick example, on the right, grain fed beef. The next time you go to the store, take a look at what they're offering you. Any beef that's not organic, that's not labeled grass fed, it's gonna be fed grain only, and that's why you see a lot of the white marbling fat surrounding the meat. Okay, not good. Now, this is the next best thing to organic. It's 100% grass fed, and there's the term, and finished, meaning grass finished. This is Target's brand. It's 100% grass fed. But here we don't see anything about it being grass finished. So that means that it was finished with grain. Same thing with this one, organic grass fed, but nothing about it being grass finished. If it's organic, it does mean it's being fed an organic supplemental feed, that is grain. But at the end of the day, you really want to get 100% grass fed and grass finished meat.